Hey, welcome back to another episode of Financial Style with Tish. Today we're talking about how I made over $10,000 in 2016 selling courses. At the end of 2015, I decided to try some new things. You know, what I was doing at the time was working a little bit, but it was kind of working, but it wasn't really working the way I wanted it to work. So in order to change things around, you've got to try something new. Doing the same thing and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. So what I decided to do was I decided to find a business model that would work for me and my style. I really enjoy teaching, and creating courses is one of the best ways to monetize that passion, right? So if you are someone who you really enjoy teaching, then definitely listen up because this is for you. During 2016, I launched several courses, and after launching all of those courses, I've learned a lot, and I want to share with you some of the things that I've learned. Now, I'm going to do a full training session on this, but I figured I'd give you the highlights and bring it to you here because, it's just you and me here. So before we get started, I just want to provide a little bit of an earnings disclaimer and let you know that my results are not typical, and I want to let you know that just because I made $10,000 selling courses doesn't mean that you're gonna make $10,000 selling courses, and that's not what I'm promising here. I just wanna share with you what's worked for me, and if you'd like to test it out and try it and see if it works for you, I at least want to give you the information that you need in order to make an informed decision. So let's get started. One of the first things that I did in order to sell over $10,000 worth of courses was I found my people. It's important to understand that you have to grow an audience and you have to grow a rally around the topic that you're passionate about. Just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean that everyone is passionate about it. But there are a few people that will be passionate about that thing that you're passionate about. I was really passionate about figuring out how to earn more money from a side hustle. And I found lots of people that were passionate about that. But not only that, I found the right type of people. So my ideal client, her name is Benifa. She is my ideal client avatar, or my ICA. And ICA is the person that you model all of your marketing for, right? So that person is, it's not a real person, but it's someone that's made up in my head. Her name is Benifa. She's about her business. She's ready to make this money, okay? And she's determined to succeed and be successful. She's an action-oriented person, which is why I call my audience the actionistas, right? We're all action-oriented, and Benifa is one of those people. So I knew that when I wanted to create a course, I created it with Benifa in mind because she didn't want any of the fluff. She didn't want all the extra stuff. She wanted to get straight to the point and figure out how to become successful as quickly as possible. So that was the first thing that I did, was I found my audience. And I will say that if you are trying to sell a course and you don't have an audience, it's a little difficult. Now, there are ways for you to grow your audience and really have that call that goes out to your people and they respond to you. But it's important to understand that you've got to have an audience there first in order to be successful with selling courses. The second thing that I did in order to sell over $10,000 of courses was I asked my audience exactly what they wanted to learn. So I would ask them, what are you guys most interested in learning about next? Do you want to learn about passive income? Is that what you want to learn about? Are you ready to learn about how to create a course? Are you ready to learn about how you can use affiliate marketing? So all of the skills and talents that I had that I was ready to teach, I just asked my audience, what do you guys want to learn next? And I would take that information and I would create the training and create the slides and get ready and go live on video. And I would help my audience in that area. That's also how I was able to sell so much in courses. And then the final thing that I did was I learned from a mentor. So I decided at the end of 2015 that I was done trying to do it on my own. I was done with banging my head against the wall, because when you're banging your head against the wall and you're expecting a different result, like I said, that's the definition of insanity. So I hired a mentor and I started working with someone who understood the process of creating and launching a course. And it was someone who was able to help me to figure out those little things that I was missing so that I could take things to the next level. And if that's what you'd like to do, then I want to invite you to my latest training, which is called How I Made $10,713 Selling Courses in 2016, and how you can too, even if you have a small audience. I'd love to invite you to this absolutely free training. There's going to be information in the description box below. You can click the link, register, choose a time that works for you. I'm doing a couple different trainings over the next couple of days, so I definitely want to make sure you're in for that. So go ahead and hop down to the description box where you'll be able to click the link and register. Thank you so much for joining me today. I know that when you are first getting started as an entrepreneur, it's easy to get inundated with there's so much stuff that's out there, and I always want to make sure that I bring you exactly what you want to learn. So be sure to do me a favor, go ahead and drop down in the comment box and let me know what would you like to learn more about when it comes to entrepreneurship and growing a side hustle into a full-time business. I'd love to share with you everything that I know, but I need to know what it is you'd like to learn next. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it out, because I've got new videos coming every single Tuesday, and I will see you here next week for another episode of Financial Style with Tish.